Hey everybody, this is Scott from the Market Dominators Real Estate Team here, and I wanted to take a minute and show you something that you might not see very often. And if you're here in Western New York, it is somewhat common to see, and it might be more common in other parts of the country depending on where you are, but it's important to know what this is and what you should be looking for. So I'm standing outside of a house right now. I'm outside, and if you look right here, you've got what's called, and it's hard to see, but if I zoom in, you can see a radon fan. So you would almost think that this is like some type of, I don't know, pipe, right? Well, it is a pipe, but it's hooked up to a fan. So see, radon is a odorless, colorless gas that occurs naturally in sediment, just as ground and dirt decay. Radon is a byproduct of that process of naturally decaying organisms. And so what happens is that gas is released. You can't smell it, can't see it, but it's cancerous, not good to breathe it in. When this decaying occurs in the ground, right, where is the gas going to come up first? It's going to come up in your basement. And so what we do is we measure radon levels in the basement using a radon test. And if the level of radon is below a certain threshold, it's considered safe by the EPA. You don't have to do anything. Now, radon's everywhere. It's going to naturally occur everywhere. It's just a matter of what safety level you have in your home. If it's above that threshold, they recommend that you get what's called a radon mitigation system installed. Now, to put this really, really simply and not overcomplicate it, basically, you've got a pipe right there, goes down into your basement, goes down into the basement floor. It's dug into the floor. And that fan basically sucks the gas up through this pipe, and it just spits it out, typically right above your roof, where it's then going to evaporate in the air, and nobody's going to breathe it, right? Nobody's up there, so no one's going to breathe it. It's probably a little hard to hear, but this fan is running, so it's actually continually pumping the radon out. Now, this particular area of Western New York that I'm in does tend to have higher radon levels because of the composite of the soil, the composition of the soil. So I'm not surprised to see this in any capacity. And this is a good thing. This means that, whoever owned this house took the time to get a radon test done and therefore realized the levels were too high, so they installed this system. So all this system is doing is making sure that there's not too high of a level in your home, because it can be cancerous. It can actually give you lung cancer if you were to breathe it in for years and years and years and years. So always be looking for this. If you just happen to see this system on the outside of a home, you know that somebody did a radon test and the level was too high and they installed this system. Now, they still recommend that even if you have a system like this installed, that you occasionally do get an updated test done just to make sure that the levels are still an acceptable amount. And obviously, if they've gone past the acceptable amount, you may need to make adjustments to your system. But that's what a radon mitigation system is. Hey, follow us on our YouTube channel here for more cool information, what it's like to buy a house, sell a house, and everything in between.